Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Live.
Cool. Let me just send you this message. All right. So yeah. So cool. There's 3 of us here currently, but there is, I believe, 6, 7 streamers so far in Space Station, which is cool. So I just want to break down kind of like the goals for next year, 2021. Or just not in the future in general, really. This whole thing was built on built on just being able to like be a platform for creatives, as well as give people who aren't creatives like a place to hang out and connect. So we're trying to bridge the gap, and this theme is obviously space because we're always looking for new people out in space. And that's where we started with the theme of Space Station. Now, what we want to do is next year we're going to be launching videos on the YouTube channel. We're going to be doing some things with IG with the visual artists. We're going to be promoting and showcasing everybody's content. So the end goal, I guess you say, is to create a network where imagine a 24-hour stream, like as if you're watching TV. We want to try and fill the gaps so that we always have something to show people. If you see in the past couple of days, like I've been streaming SpongeBob in the in the VC, and it's kind of an experiment because we've been talking about doing it for a little while, and I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And it's very interesting to me to see people just hop in and sit there for hours and watch SpongeBob. Like yesterday, I couldn't even be around. I just had it playing, and I was handling other things, but people are there watching it. And we're only at 200 people, and if 5, 7 people that we had in the past couple of days show up, imagine what happens when we multiply that in the future. We get to 1,000 by the end of the year next year, let's say, right? So, which our goal is to be bigger than that. We also want to prioritize like creative collabs. So what we mentioned before we started, what we're talking about with things like editing, video editing, getting content or media, visual media for us to post or use, some stingers, things like that. As more creatives come in here, the more opportunities for you to get commissions with people that are here. You can communicate with them if you like someone's artwork you see in self promotion. Definitely let them know that you like their stuff because um, to communicate that, it incentivizes you and you can create a relationship, and you never know where it could take you because we try to do everything ourselves, which is the right thing to do. Uh, but you'll soon realize that it's a lot of work. So you need help. We all need help, and it's okay to ask for help. And things like Fiverr or 99 Designs, those websites are there as well. I personally believe in compensate people for their time. So everybody that does something that works, on my media or my content, I make sure that they get paid or we work some kind of deal out. So just having that kind of mindset, you know, funds aren't always available, but you could always do a service for service if there's something else that you do outside of your streams that that could benefit the person that's helping you out. There's that whole thing too. So, um, we want to start with the network. We want to build that. We want to get to that, and we want to create a network of creatives where we're always being able to access the stuff that we need, the assets that we need to grow our brands. Which brings me to like what the server is about, which is I just basically explained that. That's what it's for. Space Station is for us to be able to connect with each other. So I'll use video editing as an example. We're gonna bring in more video editors. Our next event, for example, one event that we're working on I'm looking at doing a ask me anything type of event. And Flippy's gonna hop in here in a second. And so basically I'm gonna be we have a budget that we're working on. And hey Flippy, welcome. We have a budget. Flippy, so you know, we have this being recorded, so you didn't miss anything. We just started.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. And so we have a budget for our next event, which is we're gonna be bringing in people that have a bit of a leg up and understand the industry a little bit more. These professionals to come in and kind of just talk uh, for each creative group that we have in here. So before we can do that, one thing that we kind of haven't uh, gone all in on yet is we haven't started targeting specifically like creatives yet. We're just letting people come. We want to just build up and see what happens when people come in here. Sugar slow. We haven't done any big marketing. It's only really more so around like when we do events. But next year is going to be big marketing pushes as well as, like I said, when the YouTube channel starts getting videos, we have people that understand YouTube really well already. So that's going to be a driving factor and a unifying factor because right now people come to Space Station and like, okay, we're here, but there's nothing to look forward to mechanically other than just another event. So we're going to be using those types of assets and things to make that happen. Let me make sure covered that. All right. So there's one thing let me go into the streaming. So I explained the overall Discord, but for you guys, the streamers and specifically, one thing that's really cool is, you know, I don't know if you guys don't, if you guys haven't already, you could ask me. I could show you. I can go through like a little like a tour of what Space Station looks like at different levels. You know, recruits do not see Creative Cloud under self promotion. So they don't see creative discussion, they don't see the music cloud, all those things. You have to be a cadet to at least see the different clouds, but you can't post in them unless you are part of that specific group. Also, for example, we're in streaming cloud right now. If you're just a cadet, they can't see that we're in this VC. They don't even see this VC. But if you're a streamer, like let's say you're a music maker, you also don't see the streaming cloud VC. But once you become a streamer, then you can see this thing. So I say this because I want you guys to understand that like we created it like this so that if you want to share information, if you want to, you know, scheme with each other, like if you just want to come up with ideas, you want to just throw some paint at the wall, you can come in here away from, you know, voice chat or Cadet Plus chat, VC. So people aren't just jumping in your conversation. You can come here, test stuff out, things like that. You guys both have, well, all three of you have the your Twitch connected with your Discord. So for people that aren't here that have not done that yet, you guys definitely want to make sure that you connect your Twitch, if you're on Twitch, to your Discord so that you can get the streaming live tag when you go live. It's a automatic thing. It's a bot that does that for us and it puts you right at the top. We did that on purpose so that people can see, and it just helps with the goal that I mentioned in the beginning about us creating like a network where we're always having like our goal next year is to have someone always in streaming live, you know, at least one or two people, or as many people really, you know, and we're going to continue to refine that as we go. So streaming cloud, the channel itself, use that to share information because, you know, even the simplest things sometimes we might all understand what a panel is, but maybe someone doesn't, right? So even if you share that little tidbit, it opens up conversations where people start sharing information and you might pick up something that you didn't even think of before. So right now, the best cloud you can say that does this really well is the music cloud, where myself and Alec are always just sharing videos. Even if we know the information, we just share the video. People can go and read and see, um, information and learn things that they might not have thought of before, or just the simplest stuff. So yeah, use streaming cloud as you can, but also the server's built really well. I mean, it's Discord, so it's built for gamers, but it's really well put together for streamers as well. Because, for example, Dynamic Whack does this really well. He goes into video games and he has that channel. Uh, he has like all notifications. I think you have DW.
Right.
Where yeah, he'll automatically see when someone posts in there and just starts communicating with that person. My thing to all of the creatives is, you guys remember, like, the more people see your name and the more you just kind of create. It's the same thing when you're streaming. When you're streaming, someone pops in, you say hello to them, you ask them how they're doing, you know, and then you just kind of get them ingrained into your culture. You want to do the same thing here, because the more people connect and relate to you when you post something in self promotion, when you post in Proline, when you go streaming live, they're more inclined to say, "Oh, I speak to Flippy. I wonder what you know she's posting." So boom, then you can see, you gain a fan that way. And like I said, next year is going to be really critical because we're going to be extremely aggressive in getting new people in here. So the more the merrier. This 200 is a sample, so to say. And so with that, something specific that I want to say about the Streamers Cloud is, one thing I'm trying to deal with is just activity. Because the cloud is a little bit more put together and professional, you say. We want to kind of do maintenance and make sure that people are here and actually streaming. So we created a grace period. So if there's any reason why you can't stream for a while, for whatever reason, you can let us know and we'll work with you. But for the most part, if people don't if people are just in here and don't stream for 3 months, we think we're going to remove them from the streamer group until they can get back into shape. Like I said, if there's a reason why you can't, for whatever reason, you want to explain that, you can let me know, or you can just post it in here. If it's too private, you want to let me, just kind of give us a heads up if you can. But we'll try to keep it so that you guys always have people that are actively streaming to communicate with, not just fans, because we want to make sure that's not in the way. All right, so that's basically the breakdown of the server and the streamer role itself and streaming live. I don't know if anyone has any questions so far.
No questions, but definitely narrowing down the active and inactive members are definitely a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, we just want to make sure that you don't. It devalues the channel if you just have people are that aren't contributing anything constructive, because they're not a part of the actual scene. They're not doing it. So we want to keep things current. And one thing that I'm doing, because I haven't been streaming as much other than the podcast that I do every week, because I'll be streaming more next year. I'm definitely, and I do this already here and there, I'm going to be doing a lot more research. So we'll be sharing a lot more. If you guys find things, feel free. I'm just like y'all. So I'm pretty new to Twitch. Just certain things that I figured out about Twitch. It's just like anything else. It really all comes down to the algorithm, how you use it, and what you do offline the stream to get people to your channel. Twitch is really interesting, but DW will get more into that. So let's get into the more interactive stuff, which I need your guys' help figuring this out. We did announce the streamer schedule last event, okay, but I'm gonna put this on the table now. If let's say everyone streamed full time, okay, albeit of course time zones, that makes things, the times are, I guess you could say, inconsistent, but I want to try to find the best way to communicate the schedule to people. And what we'll do once we've had that figured out is we're going to make it so that the schedule is on Promo Center, pin. People could, it's easy for people to see what's going on, and they'll be able to find, oh, okay, I'm into art, you know, uh who should I watch for that? What time are they going to be on? Type of thing. So I don't know if you guys have any ideas, anything you guys want to bring up when it came to the schedule. Right now, the way we have it is, I'll explain it to DW. It's a little confusing, I know, but we broke it down to, so you started with four different schedules a month, okay, and that is each week. But then it gets broken down again by two, so it's 8 schedules a month basically. So it's midnight to noon, and then noon to midnight uh each week. So it's, if that makes sense, I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but it's 8 schedules a month.
I think it does. It is a little tricky.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but basically what's gonna happen every week, I'm gonna basically change to so I'll post, like, let's say on Monday or Sunday, I post 2 schedules. It's gonna be the midnight to noon and then the noon to midnight. So AM and PM schedule, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. And then the next Sunday I'll change that to that next week, to whatever week that is, right?
Mhm.
So it's basically, like I said, it's 8 different schedules. So
it's essentially just AM and PM, but
for 4 weeks. Yeah.
okay, all right. That makes more sense.
One thing I experimented with this event was with the time capsule thing, where I try to do the time zone stuff, right? So I wanted to see what that would be like to have people declare their time zones. Because one thing I brought up to DW before was I wanted to try and um have it so that, let's say you're in group 3, which is Eastern time, and I got to look at the zones, but it's like Eastern time up to, right now, it's about Greenland or so, Brazil, like the end of Brazil. You will see the schedules that correspond with your zone, and then let's say you're in, you know, group 4, which includes the UK and Spain, um, up to about Sweden or so. Then you would see a schedule that corresponds and makes more sense with your time zone. So that further complicates how many schedules I need to make, which is fine. It's just shifting the times around. Um, but I don't know what you guys think about that idea, if that makes more sense.
If anything, if you were to make the schedules, what if you, I don't think how to explain it, what if you were to, like, say group 2 of the time zones had an assigned blue color, and then group 3 had like green, another one yellow, so that when they appear on the schedule, rather than having to make a whole separate one, you could maybe have them color coded like that. So if someone were to be looking and they're in group 2, they're like, oh, okay, this streamer on this day is streaming in like this time for my zone, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
That
So
way, go ahead.
what? Yeah. That's a which we thought about the color coding too. This is really tricky. Like this is like super tricky. And one thing that makes this really important too is once we have the schedule, we want to promote it outside of space station. So then, you know, it gets promoted like regular media to all platforms. Um, which is great because then everyone's name is on it, and for whatever reason, people can check it out. Yeah, the color coding is a good idea. Um, we wanted to take it even further to go like by type as well. Um, so keep those things in mind. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to find the right way to do it. But I think one day, if you ever see me in here streaming, that's most likely what I'm working on, trying to figure out the schedule. So if you want to hop in and
Okay.
check some of that out.
Could you clarify what exactly do you mean by type? Like category, like art or
Yeah,
games?
category. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, thanks for asking. Um,
I
You
was
could always
gonna
do.
add. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, if anything, you could have like a little symbol next to it.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, anything to make it, because I try to think of extremes, right? So like I said, like, imagine if everyone was streaming all the time, and then imagine if we had 100 streamers in here. How can I make a schedule that is easy to digest, right? Easy for you to see what's going on, not get confused. That's the challenge of creating this schedule. You know, in the long run, the point of the schedule is more so it's more of a promotional thing. It's so that we have a piece of media to promote and advertise. People could take a look. Um, and it's the same as any other marketing ads game where you just go for a cost per click and try to get it out to as many people as possible so to get visibility. So yeah, it's a challenge, but I like that. Keep bringing in the ideas. Color coding is definitely something we're gonna go down that route. But originally when I first started doing it, I was like, okay, well, I thought to myself, all right, how am I gonna get it so that people aren't on top of each other in the stream? And then I quickly realized that you can't avoid it. You cannot avoid that. Like, you know, for example, I think you and you Flippy, I think you guys both stream at the same time at certain points. I think today, Flippy, you're streaming today, correct?
Today at 6. I did push it on.
Yes. Yeah, 6. So, and then Anam streams tonight as well. So, um, how do I reflect that in the schedule, and evenly and kind of make it easy for people to see, right? Without just putting one on top of the other type of thing. So that's a challenge, but we will obtain victory. That's the breakdown.
If I might add, I like the idea of the color coding, but it's gonna be difficult because I don't know if the span of colors we can use on Discord. I don't know if if you're limited to amount or if you can add your own. But
Well, it wouldn't be a Discord color thing. It would be because Discord has hex color
oh,
anyways,
okay,
but
okay.
yeah, it's gonna be an actual image. It's gonna be an
Would you,
image.
would you be doing the information on like an Excel sheet and then transferring that to image format, or how would you be creating it? Just typing in the text in it?
I like that idea. I like the idea of an Excel sheet. We didn't think about that. We just going straight to the graphic. Um,
I was gonna
Oh,
say,
sorry.
but I was gonna say, one idea that I just had right now was we were talking about the time zones and uh it should cater a little bit to the people that are in that time zone. I think it'll be a good place to start, or like where you are in the world, uh, to start connecting with people, and maybe that would give we can have with already we've been getting tags from when you input your time zone, you I don't. You could tell me right now, Echo, where that is. And you get. I noticed that we get the tags, so maybe we could have a channel that you see only if you're in a time zone. This is your time zone creative discussion.
Right.
If that's a thing, just all the creatives, just to get like more refined in the area. So maybe that might be something to think about too.
Would you be assigning a role to them? Like, say, if someone's group 3, you can just assign them. It doesn't have to be color coded or anything, but just so that they can kind of see that if they wanted to search through something, they could search for who has this role, so who is in my area, but also have access to things that aren't local as well.
Yeah.
That way, they get exposure across the board.
Right. Yeah. So, it's a good question. Right now, the different groups, as you can see, people have people are in their groups and they're not color coded at all. It doesn't change your color or anything. It's just a role. The roles are it's at the bottom of the list, so it doesn't affect anything. It just sets the role. Now,
Yeah.
in the next experiment, so to say, is for with this kind of thing is to try to create channels, like DW said, based on your time zone. So, the time capsule tomorrow is going to start to close at the first midnight of each group. So what I mean by that is like group 1, when Alaska hits midnight, you're not gonna be able to post in there anymore. When California hits midnight, all the way up to Texas won't be able to post in there anymore. When, let's say, New York hits midnight, up to Brazil, they won't be able to post anymore, and so on. So I'm gonna have to expand that eventually so that each zone is represented. But that's what I'm playing with, that idea and seeing what that's like, and then being, the next thing is to create clone channels for each time zone. That's a bigger project, but specifically when it comes to the streamer stuff, we have a choice to make. We could either just create like, let's use Promo Center for example. If we posted the schedule in Promo Center, we can create a Promo Center for each time zone that is essentially a clone, but in there would be different schedules based on the time zone that they're in. Or we can create one schedule and try our best to reflect the different time zones in that schedule. So the challenge is going to be testing different stuff out, trying different designs of the schedule. Right now we've all seen the calendar, what that looks like. We've all seen what an hourly schedule looks like. We've all seen what a weekly looks like, which is what we have right now. But for example, the weekly schedule that we have right now is not enough. It's going to have to be a little bit more scrutinized. Another thing too is we've spoken about maybe doing an interactive schedule. I don't know too much about that yet though, so I just want to put that out there to let you know that's also an idea. So if you guys have ideas for that. But this is an ongoing conversation, we're gonna have to continue to just work at this until we get something right, and once we have it, then we can start to promote it. So I just wanted you guys to be aware that we're actively working on that right now.
Gotcha. Yeah. To note again, I think yes, specific time zone specific channels. I think it'd be the best move, and then within the channels, I think maybe there'll be a community head or maybe a group discussion how they'll handle stuff. Maybe they'll they'll do it how they want it, and then that will give like, I guess, some pressure, for everyone else, or for you, Kako, not to um have to create, or have to worry about it. You have just have a head for that time zone, for that time zone and that very like specific community, like visual art or streamer, and they'll kind of handle the stuff. Otherwise, you just have that creative discussion in that time zone, and someone will that group will kind of just they'll have their community there to help us sustain and whatnot.
Right.
So it's almost like it's self sufficient too. Well, it will be.
One step towards that is we launched a like a recruiter program. So next year we're looking to have more recruiters. So I've pretty much figured out a lot of being able to find people and bring them in um, to Space Station, and I'm learning new stuff every day, and I see where forums are and things like that. Like I said, I did a little bit and try to target some streamers, and I tried that for a little bit, and it was interesting, to say the least. But for the most part, you know, that's always expanding. But next year, it won't just be me; it'll be multiple people coming in and just bringing in people from all over. And then once that happens, once that role is fulfilled, we want to make sure everything is handled with care. Everybody understands exactly what the goals are. We want to be as transparent as possible, which is why we have stuff like this. Um, then we can start getting into moderators. We want to definitely absolutely get moderators for different time zones. We want to get, community heads for different time zones and things like that. Everything steps. We've only been open this is our first year. And we're just trying to push the bar as quickly as we can. So yeah, definitely is the move. So I don't know if anyone wants to have any questions or anything like that.
None from that, I think.
Okay. Cool. Another thing that we're working on, it's a little bit more interactive, a little bit more fun too, is we've talked about the streamer, the panel for Space Station. And I appreciate you guys like showing interest in that. What we want to do is create, and I've already started to play with some designs, is create like a panel that is unique to you. So that, let's say you have you have in your, in your panels, say join Discord, you can join Space Station Discord server, blah blah. And let's say somebody comes around and they see that starting to pick up. A bunch of people have them, and they're like, why do they have them? And of course, also when we start promoting the schedule and things like that, things will start to look a lot more like official. So you always have to run the risk of somebody saying, oh well, let me just put that in my bio, in my panels, and try to, I guess you say, pretend like I'm part of this as well. So we have like security measures and how we're going to be handling that. So the panel itself, what we're considering is your style, your specific style, because obviously you don't want something that you want to make it look nice. It has to be aesthetically pleasing what you got going on. And the way we'll combat that is we're going to have a universal panel, but then the color is customizable. So imagine 50% of the panel, this is rudimentary, but it's not how it's going to be, but 50% of the panel is a color that corresponds with the rest of your panel, so it doesn't look too out of place. The Space Station logo will be there, and then on the other side, we're going to add some things, really, really subtle things that are super faint, but you'll still be able to see it. Like, let's say you zoom in or something like that, like your Discord tag number. So for Anam, for example, your Discord tag number is 8268. We're going to be putting that in your panel so that if someone takes your panel and puts it somewhere, you'll be able to know that's your panel, and we'll be able to sniff that whole thing out.
That's
Go
I can
ahead.
add to that. I think that's cool with the colors. Maybe it could be like when you said that, the first thing that came to my mind was uh like maybe customizing a car and like TA, or you can have maybe
Mhm.
like a primary color, secondary color, and like a tertiary color,
Right.
and maybe I don't know how maybe in depth you want to go, but maybe that primary color can be played around if it could have like a certain like texture to it. If we really want to go into detail and have it more um more personal to that streamer.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, um, the way that the panel is being built is we're making the shape of the panel, and then we're just cutting it around so that there's different elements within that shape. And each shape, like there's going to be specific parts of the shape. Like I said, that 50%, that first 50%, which isn't going to be 50%. Again, it's I'm just using an example. Will be something that you can customize to better fit your theme on your page. Does that make sense to and Flippy, you guys understand?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I go.
I think so. The shapes between the shapes kind of lost me.
Yeah, okay. So imagine a rectangle,
Mhm.
right? And if we cut out, let's say, if you made a straight line 50% way through, right? Right through it. So we're basically organizing how we cut the shapes,
Okay.
So it's still going to be that rectangle, but elements are going to be put together to form that rectangle. We're just
I see,
basically
I see.
making Voltron. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and each element will be somewhat customizable, but it'll still have the same. So, like, you'll be able to tell, okay, this is the same. Yours will have the same types of shapes as Enam's, so that it's not, it's not just too crazy, and it's easy for anyone to edit if they wanted to, or just change something around.
Sweet.
So that's go ahead.
No, I was phrasing.
Oh, cool. All right, so that's those are the two major things, the two major pieces of media that we're building for you guys. Other than that, like I said, to review, like definitely you guys are doing great. Just talking to people. I mean, I know it's genuine too. I try my best. I come from an events background, so I try to keep things fresh and you know just keep everything open so people are just having a good time. If there's anything you guys ever need, to enhance the experience so that you feel more comfortable communicating with people, or you want to try something and you have ideas for an event, let me know. Um, Let me take this opportunity to shout out DW too, man. Like for that streamer event, like we did not plan that during the Games Begin event. DW totally planned that all on his own, and that was really freaking sick.
That was really sick. That was really neat. It brought a lot of sense of community and genuineness to the server, I felt.
Yeah, I like that a lot, and I like the fact that we had people that are in Space Station in it as well. I mean, we should totally keep doing stuff like that. It really inspired me, so thanks, bro. Um, so yeah, just keep on, like, just communicate and enjoy the events, and just get people to recognize your name. Flippy, you're an artist, so you understand that I see you in self promotion a lot, which is great because that definitely corresponds with what you do. So, um, and MDW, you guys definitely take advantage of video games, things like that, or whatever else you like. If there's other things, it doesn't have to always be something that corresponds with your stream. If you're in anime, just go ahead and chat about anime. Like whatever it is. We're adding within the week, we're adding a book club too, because a lot of people read in here. you got smart people in here. So a lot of people have been asking for book clubs. We're adding that channel. Interest facilities, just so you guys know. And like again, you guys can do a tour. Just let me know if you want to do a tour to see what stuff looks like. But interest facilities is our most fluid category. So things can get removed, things can get added based on what people are interested in. That idea kind of grew from a server called something for everyone that I saw. What they did was I got inspired when I saw that they had, like, when COVID started hitting, they created a channel for COVID-19 so people can go in and talk about that. And I was like, all right, that's great, because people want a place to be topical and not get drowned with everything else going on in, like, general. So a lot of people that join us are new to Discord too. It's really interesting. So a lot of people don't really know how Discord works. Over time, they'll figure that stuff out.
I think to help battle that is and help for content for this YouTube channel for the space station is have like a video tour of the space station thing.
I like that.
Yeah, I think
You
that-
can screen record yourself to talk about each one, and then we can have other people do more specific things just to have that like reference video. So like all the things you said in the beginning, that could be checked out on this on the space station YouTube channel. Food for thought.
Yeah, no, I wrote that down.
That definitely, in my opinion, I think that would definitely be great, especially for, like you said, if there's new members, and if they can't see, say they can't see the Creative Cloud, right? If they don't know it's there and they don't know how to use Discord, they probably aren't familiar with the leveling bots either. So I think that would be a great like welcome tour, little introductory video,
Right.
but also definitely like informational and maybe a little inspiring. Like, oh, now that I know something is there and I can see more, it's more incentive to interact more and actually work the leveling bots to get to where they need to be. Also, the question, how do I check my level specifically through the bot? Is there a way to do that or no?
We don't have like levels, so we don't do a leveling bot like Me6, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how it was.
Yeah, because we, that stuff is cool, but I mean, it's not necessary really. Like until we find a use, it's just another thing that
Yeah, of course.
to gotta figure out.
How exactly do you level someone from like recruit to cadet?
That's a good question. So, another thing, I'll take this opportunity to say this too about Space Station is one thing that we're gonna thematically add to the YouTube channel is, if you guys don't know already, Alpha is our quote unquote like a host AI bot. That's the story. And we're going to do Flippy, you're gonna get the insider knowledge right now. Next year we're gonna be doing like our plan is to get commissions from all the visual artists so that you guys can draw what you think Alpha looks like. There's gonna be like a theme, and we're just gonna get that meme going, like just like get people drawing Alpha. But Alpha is basically like, if you guys ever saw Toonami or anything, if you're familiar with Toonami, and like Tom in the ship, and then Sarah, which is like the robot that speaks to Tom. That's basically what Alpha is for us. And so in the videos, Alpha will boot up. As Alpha grows, Alpha's gonna level up as well. And so we're trying to bring this lore, these thematics, to what is essentially in a Discord somewhat video game. This is our game. So one way that you can get somebody promoted is just recognizing their stuff, like just recognizing them. And one way to recognize people is to !nominate someone. I can't give away. It's a little bit of of classified situation, but there are some criteria in the recruit notes. There's actually tidbits to help people get, give them ideas of what they should be doing to get from recruit to cadet. Like have at least 50 chats, which is really, really easy if you just talk to people. So another thing is too is when you nominate someone, you help them become eligible to get nominated to the next level.
Another thing that would be
So that-
great to convert that just from like notes to a video.
Yeah. That, the notes right now, I know it's a lot. People come in, they don't read. They just go straight to the rules, click, and then all right, I'm here. I know it's a lot. But like I said, next year we're gonna try and do redesigns, make things, use graphics to make things easier for people to just digest and stuff. It's a lot of information, but right now the reason why it's a lot of information is because we're trying to build the system. A lot of people come in and say that they like how Space Station is put together. And it's really all because it comes from, myself and everyone that I interact with who's really into having a good structure, just a thorough structure to try to scrutinize everything. We built the server. The server is kind of unorthodox in the sense that we built the server to do what we wanted it to do, not what Discord expects servers to be built like. So I'm constantly getting like messages from Discord saying, "Hey, this is out of sync. Hey, this isn't correct." Like it's, but we know what we're doing. We actually have external paperwork as well to keep track of everything. So yeah, I do like that. You'll see when we start doing videos, when we do those videos, it'll be there to help instead of just a huge wall of text. One thing that's pretty tricky about that too, though, is Discord doesn't do any floating messages, which I'm like, that's lame. If we had floating messages, for example, in Time Capsule, unless you scroll all the way up to the top, you won't see Alpha's message that explains what the capsule is for and what's going to happen and those things. So I have to constantly remind people what's going on in the capsule and what it's for.
Are you able to have them just pinned and then you can reference the fact that there's a pin?
Yeah, there you go. You got my point that I almost forgot to mention.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. Just
yeah. So the
just to
pins are
highlight them.
important. Yeah, the pins are important. We pin everything. You can see in Time Capsule those pins are there. The thing about Discord though, as a culture, is I do know that people do not check pins a lot. That's not going to stop us from doing it. But yeah, we are battling that challenge right now as well, trying to figure out the best way to just keep people informed all the time. So
I guess with
I
was gonna say, I guess with the new people coming in and do Discord, we'll make that impression onto them. Not to check pins.
yeah, totally. That's the goal, and the guides and stuff. I'll definitely add that as well, so that they know that they should be doing that.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean that's pretty much the breakdown, guys. I'm looking forward to seeing how things grow. Definitely, again, the point of Space Station is just to give you a platform for you to connect a bridge to your fans. We encourage you guys to have your own servers too if you want, like that. We're not discouraging anyone. Like we let people even promote their servers in self-promotion, because Space Station isn't about try to be, we are like a one-stop shop, but it's not about taking away from anybody. It's only just we're trying to supplement. So for somebody that's a streamer that might not have funds to do events every month, or might not have the time to be moderating all that stuff, we wanted to create that for you, so that you don't have to worry about it. You know, you can come and eventually in the long run, the dream is like if we could have Team Flippy come in, and then when they click on Team Flippy, then they only see channels that correspond with what Flippy's doing great. You know, like that's what we need to do. Then we'll go down that route. It's bigger than any one of us. And we're trying to create something that's universal, so that, let's say Discord loses popularity, we can just transfer to the next thing. We'll have a website, we have the YouTube channel, we have the Instagram coming up next year as well. That'll showcase more short clips, but more of like the visual artist stuff. But yeah, it's built. It's for you guys to use however you guys want, and for whatever you guys need. So just let us know.
If I may add, that also really amplifies that sense of community. The fact that Space Station is a community for you to gain and feel like a community, and like, yes, gain fans, but also make connections, meet new people, and just have like you said, a one-stop shop as well. But the fact that you're not restricting anyone from promoting their own server or their own space really just makes it feel like the support is that much more. Because you don't want the support for the server, you want the server to support the people in itself. That's kind of the vibe that it gives, and it's really nice.
Yep. It's do whatever we can, you know. All right. So with that said, we're gonna turn this over. DW is gonna bring up some things that he wanted to discuss with everybody. We're still recording, so I'm gonna give the floor to you.
Yeah.
G, and thank you guys. At the end of the day, thank you. Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I was just gonna mention some things. I know if you have to go, Kako, you could drop off. This is probably gonna be the closing point right now.
Okay. Yeah, I have to go visit my dog.
Well, I hope she's doing well.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, but they're telling me seems okay. So
Good. Best wishes.
all right, thank you guys.
Cheers, mate.
Be well.
Yeah, so I wanted to bring up I had so much fun doing the event this month, which was going on, and now we're in holiday season. That I want to do like small things, kind of specific to us, and throughout the whole year too. Two things I wanted to bring up was in-house like streamer review to help. Kako was talking about the importance of when we have these panels that we're kind of like verified in this community, you know. So we want to give that when you're here with us, that we'll look after each other, and this stream review will be a certain thing. I've been coming up with categories for how to, like, I guess, rate a stream, but it would be like kind of like, I guess, the system in like Dragon Ball Z, where it's just like, you know, your power. There's no like A, B, or C or F. This is like how much just you just build up points, and then those points tell you like how you're doing. So
I like that idea for sure.
yeah, just so like no one gets like kind of dismotivated if they feel like they get like an F rating or something. It's like I don't want to give the same pressure school would give you. Just so I pulled up here. So some things how I wanted to run was, you know, the person streaming would just have a normal day. We would schedule in advance when the judges would come. Or maybe it would be random, or maybe we'll have a scheduled day depending on the person. I would hate someone to get like have like performance anxiety. They have like this eye staring at them. But you know, you're streaming to a public, so you know it's good to overcome that at the same time. So, anyways, there's gonna be a time where, you know, we'll have just some judges come visit the streamer, whether they know or not, and you know, just try to watch the whole stream, or if not, maybe we'll cap at like an hour. Because I feel like your stream with maybe like the first hour, your stream should already kick off strong, because I've seen there's people that do like 24-hour streams and stuff, but um, a lot of people don't have that the pleasure, I guess, to watch the streamer for like the whole day. So we'll say like a
That
one
is a
hour.
lot of time.
Yeah, it's a lot of like time, and I will say 1 hour. That's like basic. Some shows too, some some people like this watch a show on television. Just watch like an hour, check you out, and they'll probably just like the time they'll like allocated for that. So within that hour, I have three like big points, which is production, interaction, and then offline content. Within production, I have scenes. They're to whether they're present first of all, if the streamer used it, and their aesthetic value, whether just look pleasing and they fit like everything that's going on visually on the channel. After scenes, there's alerts. A big thing about streaming, uh, that's uh, compared to like just YouTube videos, is it's live, and it should be catered for interaction. You know, you get a big thing for like I would say us all small streamers is we don't have to we're not in a situation where there's like 1,000 people, and you're just saying like thank you and stuff. You have the chance to actually talk to that person and have that like one-on-one conversation and build like that relationship. So take advantage of it while it's at this scale, and that one-on-one relationship ends up you might have like a regular that comes on stream. So alerts.
People really do love that.
Say that again.
I think people really do love that, being able to interact one-on-one with
Right.
the streamer.
So just the fact to have alerts of any kind, you could do it whether it's an overlay on the stream or maybe it could be on the chat too. And then just general quality of the stream, like video quality and audio quality. It's just we're in a day of age where HD is the norm. A lot of people will. I guess we have the technology where HD, it got to be HD, or otherwise not a lot of people are gonna watch it. We're just spoiled that way. And audio too. If it'll ruin the experience for the viewer. The If those things are not with the times. And then interaction. How the It's I kind of keep these like broad for now. I have engagement with viewers. Whether how they talk to the stream. Whether they have like different like chat bots going on, because I feel I can be persuaded against, but my biggest thing I feel for streaming is the interaction you have. Otherwise, just go to YouTube and just post like you playing. That'll be it. But there's I've seen people actually, they're so I seen there's one guy I follow that he's just so good at the game, like he just focus, and then people just kind of chat on the side, and he makes like some notes to talk to people, and then like people like that, they watch it, they like to see him battling, and they like to hear his notes. So I guess it's how you want your niche to be. And then another thing for interaction is community. How how the people are that are watching these videos. Whether it be like how if they welcome someone, if someone has like a mod, how good the mod is to actually do their job to moderate, and that's about it. Just like you're outside pretty much how your audience reacts. And then the last like big point was offline content, which is you know uh Twitch has it where they have their categories, and they have you sorted between the most viewers. Most viewers, the algorithm does up and coming, like they're picking up speed. So if you're just at like less than 10, you're gonna be all the way in the bottom of the list, which is gonna be really difficult for people to see you. So it's important to have offline content in other places, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever it may be, Twitter, to invite people because they have more better algorithms for engagement. You can get the ball rolling quicker there because they have recommendation algorithms like YouTube does, just to show, oh, what do you think about this, and that might be how someone can find you because it is difficult on Twitch. So I believe it's important to rate the person if they have any offline content available. I was telling Flippy in the streaming cloud that now Twitch has an offline video, like that's like a trailer that you can show to people, and that's a big thing to take advantage. Were you gonna say something, Anonymous?
Oh no, I was just saying that. Yeah, I've seen that pop up. Haven't really done anything with it though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty. Like every time I go to my channel to check everything, it says, "Hey, you should put a video on," and I'm like,
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
that's something like I just keep seeing that and I cry a little bit because I'm trying to come up with ideas what that should be. I gotta check out how some other streamers do it. Like maybe I think some big time already have like something up there, but it should just be a general welcome, and then maybe this like your personal like highlight reel, just to show what kind of vibe it brings. So. And then with that, that's just like your advertisement for maybe the person will follow and catch you on the next time you're streaming. But
I have a quick question.
shoot,
In regards to scheduling a day or picking a day, if the streamer is comfortable and would prefer to have something scheduled, is that possible? Or is it all just going to be random?
yeah,
Like random?
I think we're gonna give you the option for the streamer. I think well you can choose whether it be random or you can get your house all nice pretty up for the day. So,
Yeah, figure it all out.
for the
Okay,
guests. And then yeah, I'm gonna start putting together like a scorecard, and it's just to see take this constructively, not to put anyone down. I want to just have the system so you can see how hey Mies, we're talking about the stream review, and this if you want to say anything, we'll check it out on the streaming cloud. Otherwise, we're talking this meeting's being recorded. Um, so there'll be a scorecard, and then we'll talk more in the streaming cloud uh, about whether which day it is, and I think we'll give the results privately, maybe or publicly, just to uh see how other streamers do compared to you. Not to put yourself down, but like, oh, this person got this because they did this. Maybe I can do something to help my stream. So that was pretty much it with the stream review. Um, one another thing too was affiliate push. Great thing that we're all affiliates here, and I feel like your streaming life really starts at affiliate because then you get your own emotes, and you can do all these other things like subscriptions. Uh, Even if you don't care to go like full time, the emotes I feel like is a big thing, and you can do like badges. There's a lot more to offer to affiliates um, than just like the normal. I guess you can say the non-affiliated streamer. So I think a good thing an event to do was if we have an affiliates, um, as this community, we try to and try to help them with the follow, and then we have so the requirements is the 50 followers, stream X days, and then the average viewers. The 50 followers and the community will help, but that's at everyone's discretion. It won't be like we won't whip you or we won't like force you to do the follow. But I feel like if we set up a day to get the average viewer count, I think that would be the best because you can have how I got affiliated was I was doing like I got all the streaming the date requirements, just there's sometimes I'll just do like an hour stream, and sometimes that would hurt me because like in the hour stream I could probably have like 2 people come in. But I had like a giveaway day, and so like everyone and their mother came in, and that it was like 10 people there, and that was such an outlier. It bumped the average so high that I got 3, and I was just able to apply. So I was thinking to recreate that kind of same experience, and for us in the space station, someone, they already have the 2 requirements ready. They only need that average view count. So we'll just go bomb their channel for one day. It's all scheduled, and I think it'll be a good way to showcase new streamers coming up in here in the space station.
Definitely, I think that's a great idea.
So yeah, I wanted to open the floor real quick to you guys because those are the only 2 events I had in mind for now. If you guys have any questions or comments to what I said, floor is open.
I definitely think it's all around just like a great idea, and again reinforces that sense of community and like that feeling of support. The Twitch affiliate push would also be really great. What about actually never mind, that was covered in affiliate push. Give me one second, let me read over. I got some notes here.
Yeah, if we get people, a big enough community and people, we could probably have a partner push. But that's going to be a harder thing because the requirements are harder. And Twitch, I believe Twitch automatically gives you affiliate. There's I don't think there's it's like monitored by a bot. But I believe the partner push is there's a panel. There's a panel that on Twitch Corp, headquarters, that people check it out, and like those requirements aren't enough because people get denied the, their requests for partner. They check for everything, almost similar to the stream review. You got the offline content. Because at that point you're a source of income for them. They want to make sure you got your people, you got everything going for good for you, so it's good for them. So it's mutual, and they're a business too. So before they can hire you, they gotta see you got the right skill set. So maybe down the road have that, but I'm getting ready to close right here. If you guys have any more ideas for events to do, because I think it's a fun thing to do at least once a month. It kind of like gets everyone excited to do something in community. It keeps it relevant for everyone, and then at the same time, you're not uh, just bothered by like something going on like every day or something. You get to work on your side and then check in with the community once a month, at least.
I have the other idea I had to skim the notes for was if we had maybe, I don't know how quite to explain, but I suppose the best way to describe it would be like test run days, or days where people from space station or within space station, we can kind of get together and help them tweak their audio, or help them like how you gave me tips in regards to messing with the filters that OBS had. If we had days like that, like kind of little workshops in a sense, little workshop events, I think
That would be cool. I like that. We could break down on things to do that. Kako really wants to get in the habit because in the music cloud they like to post the videos. The videos I like, we'll post it in streaming cloud, and I don't really have. There's not. I don't want to spam. At the same time, I mentioned before that Alpha Gaming and Wild for Games is a good place for to think about stuff, and they have like a bunch of useful tips. But I think
yeah, definitely.
I think they have their pros and cons, as everyone does. But I think we can learn from that, and we can build like a better workshop.
Mhm.
So
Definitely.
I think if you have an idea for topics for that, whether it be I think you know what? As I create this scorecard, I think each of those things are gonna be a workshop. So
Yeah, they definitely can be.
yes.
Or even, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna sorry, I was gonna say that so the next time we have the streamer review, you can refer to that workshop and help improve your score for streaming.
Have like a little follow-up thing, like, hey streamers, everyone who participated in the stream review, if there's something you want to work on, we'll be having X workshop on X day this time or whatever else. But also maybe even perhaps like a beginners, so to speak, because I encountered a lot of people who are just new to Twitch, and it could be part of the affiliate push or something um, within it, I suppose. But definitely a workshop, like a beginner's workshop, kind of little tips and tricks that help make navigating OBS easier. Granted, of course, we will be providing like links and videos and just source material within the streaming channel to help them on their own, like outside of the workshops. But then just getting little tips and hints from people who have been streaming or been in the scene for a little bit more and know kind of like the little tiny ticks.
Yeah, I like that. I just thought about to do like a viewer day too. You know, be not for stream not just for streamers, but how viewers can get used to Twitch. You know, because
Yeah.
it is there is like a culture to it, and some people might miss out on some stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna start to wrap up here. Um, Anonymous, was there anything you wanted to add?
Not really, honestly.
Okay.
I feel like everything's been pretty much covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna close it up because we've been running for a minute here. Niece, I don't wanna, I don't wanna hold you back since you came a little late. But if you have any questions, let's put it in streaming cloud. I'm still gonna be active, so just gonna continue the conversation there. Just because we've been recording already for a long time. So y'all can drop off. I'm gonna close the recording right now. Thanks for everyone for coming.
Thank you so much for having me.